Ready? Hey YouTube, this is Mega Dweezil coming at you from the great Indiana wilderness. Behind me you can see the amber waves of grain, although it's actually alfalfa and or hay or something that they feed these cows, which are also over there. This is Josephine's Magical Garden, which is turning out absolutely gorgeous. We got some broccoli, we got tomatoes, we got peppers, all of which seems to be going great guns. We got our bedding plants for not much money down at Super Value, which is this is the kind of place where they sell bedding plants at the grocery store. So, and across the street there is my that jungle-like looking patch is partially my chuckhole garden and partially Josephine's potatoes, sweet potatoes. She's got some buckwheat over there, a little bit of corn, as well as our pumpkins and squash. Put those a little bit farther away from the house because the deer don't tend to eat them. We've got some big deer running around here. They come out here at night and stand in the front yard, so, you know. Anyway, you know, what I wanted to talk to you about today, something I've been thinking about, is just we have begun to treat, you know, other people and each other as kind of encumbrances. You know, we look on any kind of contact basically as recreational and social, and we also kind of look on it as a pain in the ass, you know. And when you're out in a rural environment like this, you begin to understand, okay, there's things that you can't do for yourself out here. Okay? But just like that, you know, there's things that your guy in the urban environment can't do for himself either. You know, and going back to the good old days when it was like, you know, maybe I got a patch of woods that makes really good arrows, and maybe you got a patch of woods that makes really good fiber for fish nets. Maybe I ought to make some arrows and you ought to make some fish nets, and maybe we ought to make a deal. See, and that ain't got nothing to do with liking anybody, you know. What it has to do with is that, you know, it's going to be important. The worse things get financially, it's going to be important to be able to use other people as a resource, you know. There's stuff that you know how to do that other people need. Now in a rural environment like this, we have an absolute problem because we don't have broadband internet. I'll have to go to work to load this video. What we have is satellite, it's metered. Consequently, you know, I can't do certain things on the internet that any mope sitting over in Bloomington who's got an efficiency apartment can do. You know, and there's no reason why, you know, in a place like this where we've got ground and things like that, there's no reason that somebody couldn't say to me, hey, guess what? You give me 100 square feet of space, okay, that I can come out and work on weekends, and I will download for you every PBS special that I can get my hands on, put it on disk, and I'll run it out to you. He gets something, I get something, you know. We don't have a washer and dryer. Why don't we have one? Because the house right down the hill, my dad's house, does have one. It takes 5 minutes to walk laundry down there, you know. The washer runs once a week. Why in the hell would I buy my own? You know, Josephine had a terrific idea the other day and bought a bicycle. It's a one-speed, clunky old, antique-looking bicycle as far as I'm concerned. What's its name, Jess?
Wheelie Lou.
Wheelie Lou, okay. She's named Wheelie Lou, this bicycle. And it's kind of the kind that the girls used to ride back in the 50s, I guess. Yeah,
Yeah, it's got white walls, man.
It's got white walls.
It's a killer bike.
We're all about the thing is, you know, people around in this environment, in America, you know, culturally, we're constantly bitching about gas, you know, and yet we want to drive to the bathroom. I mean, we look on things like bicycles as a fucking toy. Most of the world regards them as transportation. You know, for all you conspiracy theorists and whatnot out there, the Viet Cong beat us with bicycles. You know, a one-speed bicycle with a bamboo pole across the handlebars can carry 350 pounds any place you want to take it. The Ho Chi Minh Trail was not a fucking highway, it was a trail. And most of the stuff on it was moved by bicycle. So, that's another good pull on Josephine's part. This is what I'm talking about. When I use people as a resource, okay? I have a real bad tendency to think that because I'm old and because I'm American, I know every fucking thing. All right, witness the Tea Party. No, not so. Haven't been every place, haven't done everything. Josephine's a Native American. She's from Canada. She knows crap about staying warm that I never heard of, And as a result, last winter we got a wood stove. We didn't spend a nickel on heat all winter long. It never occurred to me to come out here and actually use my front yard to produce food. But we're going to have chow, and that's not behind any genius on my part. That's because I have a partner who sees the world from a different perspective and points shit out to me. Okay, there's a lot of different perspectives. You don't necessarily have to like somebody to listen to them. They don't have to be your friend to have a good idea. They don't have to go to the same church as you. There are people out here that never got past the 6th grade. That they're going to be able to keep their houses going, they're going to be able to keep their families fed long beyond, what the guy who went to college with. But at the same time, okay, there are the people that, that have done a lot of study, and there are the people that have been a lot of places and have traveled a lot, and they know things that we need to know. So, my whole point to this whole thing here is just other people in any situation can be your primary resource. And we've really seen a lot of that around here lately, okay? When a tornado comes through, and as soon as somebody cuts, the tree off his house, he takes his chainsaw and his tractor and he starts going up and down the road. Because he knows everybody doesn't have a chainsaw and everybody doesn't have a tractor. As soon as somebody can get one car out, they go down, to town and report back as far as what's running, what's not running. They bring the baby formula, they bring the diapers, they do that stuff. And all the way down the road, they're asking, I'm going to town, you need anything? That's the way this crap used to work. It's the way that it's going to have to work again. My dad is 93 years old, still mows his own grass, lives right down the hill from me. And he lived out here during the Depression, the Great Depression, when people were living on turnips and squirrels. And the fact of the matter is, okay, he can show you how to do it. All these people that want to be slick and fast and ninja-like, about survival, that's the expert. He actually had to do this stuff and can tell you how to do it. I've become absolutely fascinated by the stuff that's hanging in his barn, because a lot of it didn't start out life as what it ended up. It's useful things made out of freaking junk that are just hanging on the wall. An old car leaf spring or this or that was turned into a plowshare. There's all kinds of gardening tools and stuff that were made out of this and that. All kinds of little pieces of furniture, milking stools and stuff like that. They're crude. You wouldn't find them, at Pier 1, but they work. They work just fine. And, but if I don't bother to talk to the 93-year-old guy, if I don't figure he's got anything to say, I'll never find that shit out. Okay, I'll be out here with my brilliant rototiller from Wally World out of fucking gas and not know what I'm supposed to do next. Anyway, everything out here is going great, and for me and Josephine, you all have a great day. We'll give you periodic updates. Don't worry, YouTube, because Indiana's holding.